Thank you. And I want to begin by thanking my good friend Ali Chandilnathan for giving me this opportunity to organize this panel discussion. I want to thank the comrades of Thannatchi Thamizhagam, and I'm very pleased to meet some 4 important personalities in this movement also, who I will introduce in a while. It's a very timely topic, as many friends have pointed out here. And my task is only to introduce the topic and to present the 4 eminent speakers in front of you. Now, let us think like a medical doctor. When you go to a doctor, the doctor diagnoses the problem. And then he or she thinks about the prognosis. If we don't treat the disease efficiently and effectively, what all will happen to the sick patient? And having diagnosed and done an analysis of the prognosis, the doctor turns to therapy, treatment. Now, let us do a brief diagnosis. What is happening in the country today is, as my friends before pointed out very clearly, the uniformizing the peoples of India. India is a land of unity in diversity. There are a lot of nationality groups, indigenous peoples, and all kinds of diversity is here. But then the ruling dispensation in India right now wants to impose a kind of unitary government on us and an artificial uniformity. They follow the Savarkarian dictum of Ek Dev, Ek Desh, Ek Bhasha, Ek Jati, Ek Jiva, Ek Asha. As Comrade Tehlan Pagavi pointed out, it's all oneness. Everything should be one. One country, one language, one religion, everything one. One election. I think in the next few years, they're also going to introduce this one election, one president, and one civil code, and all one. And where will all this oneness lead to? Will it end up breaking the country down into pieces, or will it bring more cooperation and coordination? I doubt that. So the diagnosis looks rather bad. I don't think that the people of this country are going to take this forceful oneness that is imposed on them. So what will be the prognosis if we don't address this issue? And that is one reason why friends like Sendilnathan and we are all discussing this issue. If we don't bring up this federal issue, federation, confederation, and problematizing what is going on in this country now, the prognosis will be very bad. There will be rebellions all over the country. We may lose the social peace, and who knows, the country may also disintegrate into pieces. We don't want that to happen, and that is the reason we have gathered here and spending a whole day thinking about these issues. So the therapy is definitely choosing federation, more autonomy to the states. And what is this federalism? As Professor Johan Galtung, a Norwegian sociologist, points out, federalism is a center parts power sharing concept or a compact. It's an agreement between the center and the various components. And they divide the functions of governance. You do take care of your affairs at the state level, at the union territory level, or at the local level. And then we will take care of some things at the center. If we locate this power arrangement on a continuum, on a straight line, at the far right end, we can identify the unitary state. One state, unicameral governance structure, one national parliament, and all decisions will be taken up there. And there will be no devolution of power. That is the arrangement. At the far right is the unitary state. Now, at the far left is going completely independent. Look, we cannot put up with this choking, suffocating arrangement. We cannot deal with your domination. You are subjecting ourselves to some kind of a political slavery. So we secede, we separate, we walk out of your union, we go away, we found our own country. That is complete, total independence at the left hand. Now, we can find a midpoint between these two extreme positions, which is confederation. And a confederation is a loose arrangement of the components forming confederation, a central government at the center. And one unique feature of this confederation is the components have the power to walk out of the union at any time, whenever they have the free will to do so. So confederation happens to be the exact midpoint, and we can locate the federation arrangement between this midpoint and the far right. So the federation comes closer to the center, but it's not exactly the center. What is the difference between a federation and confederation? In a confederal arrangement, you have the right to walk out at your own political will, at your own will, at your own chosen time. But in a federation, you don't have that right. So in India, we planned the whole thing to be like a federation, but a lot of unitary features and aspects. Now, they say that Dr. Ambedkar, Article 1.1, the Constitution, Indian Constitution begins with this, that India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states, not a federation of states. Dr. Ambedkar says, although its constitution may be federal in structure, the committee preferred the term union. Why? Because union obviously does not mean federation. So scholars conclude that the constitutional system of India is basically federal with striking unitary features. So we are neither here nor there. Are we a federation? Yes. Are we a federation? No. Then who are we? That is the basis of the problem. And Arinyar Anna, whose 112th birthday we are commemorating right now, took a very clear stand on this issue, and friends who spoke before me elaborated on Anna's brilliant stand very clearly. And he was very vocal about all this, and his political party was a pioneer in the whole movement, in the whole country. Now, there are others and other movements that have talked about this issue also, but then the pioneering movement has been the DMK, and especially Arinyar Anna and Dr. Karunanidhi and other people. Now, we don't want to go into that. Coming to the diagnosis part, we hear some rumors. I don't know how far these rumors are true. The BJP government has been toying with the idea of dismantling the state system that we have right now and imposing a few hundred janpad. In other words, the linguistic identity-based states will be removed from the scene, and they will kind of mingle people together and are planning to found janpads. These Mahajanpads, they say, existed during the prehistoric times. That is in the before Christ era. They had this arrangement. I think they said that there were some 16 kingdoms in India, and they were called Mahajana Janapads. Janapada means foothold of a people. So by that, by bringing that back, they can remove these voices for self-determination. They can erase these identities of the linguistic groups, the different nationality groups. So they can remove that political standpoint that we are relying on right now, and put us all together in a sack, and they think they can bind us really together and make the country more unitary and more uniform, and bring about this national one nation, one language, one nonsense. Is that really going to happen? Can they do it? Should we allow that to happen? Are some of the key questions that we are addressing here. And I know Thannatchi Thamizhagam and our friend Sendilnathan are proposing this United States of America. And Tehlan Bahvi also pointed out that United States of India was proposed by some of these British rulers and all. Now, this United States of India is also problematic, because this, first of all, United States itself is not very united. There have been a lot of dissension, there are a lot of discussions about the residual powers of the state, and all kinds of issues are going on right now. In fact, a couple of years ago, there were some movements in Texas and Michigan to secede from the United States. They don't want to continue with the United States. In Texas, for example, in 1997, there was a hostage issue. A group called the Republic of Texas took a few people as hostages and managed to swap some of those hostages with one of their comrades in the American prison. And they claimed that Texas was an independent country from 1836 to 1845. And they did not want to be part of the United States, but somehow the annexation took place in 1845, which was illegal. So give us our freedom back to form or to found or to re-establish the Republic of Texas. They wanted a referendum in the whole of Texas for the people to decide if they wanted to continue with the United States or to secede from the Union, from the Federation. Similarly, there was a group in Michigan also. All these groups were even armed groups. That is even more interesting. They were not just like us. They were not just toying with the idea. They were not just political groups. They were armed groups collecting arms and waging an armed struggle. Well, they were all put down by force, of course. And that is another important part of this being united in the United States, united in killing each other. So this United States also has become an example all over the world for domination, for imperialism, for high-handed behavior, for the big brother attitude, and all of that. So I'm not really sure. If these guys are also exporting so many deadly weapons to the whole world, if the world is not a peaceful place today, and one of the main reasons is the United States of America. Their arrogant behavior, their white supremacist gangs, and they're exporting arms, they are promoting the military-industrial complex, and so on and so forth. We can go on forever. So I'm not really sure if we should go for this kind of a United States of India, but maybe we could think about the Federated States of Micronesia. I studied in the Pacific Ocean in the Hawaiian Islands, and the Federated States of Micronesia, of course, they are also associated with the United States now, but still they are an independent country, sovereign country. And there are some 600 plus islands in that Federated States of Micronesia. They have, for convenience sake, they have divided the 600 islands into 4 different states. The population is very sparse, but sustainable fishing, agriculture, and like Polynesia, the rest of Polynesia, the rest of Pacific islands, life is very, very slow paced, and people get along with each other. They accept diversity. They manage their affairs in a rather mature and peaceful manner, and all of that. So this is just a thought that we need to think. And as our friend Siddhilnathan pointed out, we are going to listen to some people who are going to tell us all different examples that are being followed. We often hear that Switzerland is an exemplary role model for all of that. And we all know that how democratic, how really loose confederation that is existing in Switzerland and all. So with these stray thoughts, I would like to invite our panelists. I'm sure they are going to enlighten us a lot more. And I do have I'm going to skip all these quotes from Anna because these are all very, long and pithy quotes, which I may have to read very slow, and it may take time for us to digest. So I'm going to skip all that. I'm sure we will have plenty of opportunities to talk about Anna's concepts maybe during today, and also after this program is over. He has to be read more closely and carefully.